Zach, he will not clear the protocol, so he'll be out. Obviously, Aaron will be out. Dwayne Brown popped up. He's going to pop up on the injury report with the back. He'll be questionable for the game. We're still hopeful, but we'll see what happens. That happened yesterday. And then JFM will not practice today.
What do you feel about JFM?
I still feel good about JFM. He usually goes through some stuff like this, but he always finds his way to game day. So I'm still very encouraged on him.
With Zach, the short turnaround next week, I'm not sure where he is in the protocol. If he's done treadmill or anything. Is next week a possibility for him?
It's still a possibility. It does make it challenging that it's a Thursday game, so he's got to clear some hurdles over the weekend. But again, it's going to be one of those we'll see.
Will Aaron be designated as the third quarterback?
No.
So you won't even be there. Can you just kind of explain the thinking behind having him active then, Robert? I know you did walkthroughs, but he was listed as not practicing the last 2 days. I don't know what he's doing today. And obviously he's not active or not going to be active in all game days. What was the thinking process behind that?
Like I said, it's we had the roster flexibility. And as a team, we just felt like it'd be really good to give him the ability to go out and practice because of our roster flexibility. Again, the designation of IR versus being able to practice with the guys is you're either on field 3 or you're able to do it with the team. And so it's all part of his progression. We had the roster flexibility where we weren't costing anyone a job, and we were still able to maintain the full roster as we would have it for the last 3 weeks, and we thought, why not? And so we did it.
Is Bond back?
Yeah, Bond's back, and with a good chance to be elevated on game day.
Robert, Albert said yesterday that Will McDonald might see a little bit more snaps here down the stretch. What kind of development opportunity is that for him?
Oh, it's anytime a young buck gets on the field. I don't want to put the pressure on him with regards to comparing him to Jermaine and his path, but I argue it's kind of a blessing to be able to be a part of that D-line room as a rookie. I know it's as a first-round pick, and I know he wants more production and he wants more playing time, but there's a lot of really cool dudes in that room that provide unbelievable examples for what it looks like, and so there's tremendous growth in that regard. If he attacks the offseason in the way Jermaine attacked his offseason, Will McDonald is going to be a superstar in this league.
You said you don't want to put pressure on him, but what you just said there at the end about him being a star, how important is that? Because the fans are going to put pressure. The fans say, oh, we could have used that pick on an offensive lineman, we could have used that pick on a receiver, somebody who would have made a bigger impact for this year's team in hindsight. Obviously, how confident are you that in the long term he'll reward the pick?
No, for sure. You always take best available, and he's a fantastic pass rusher. He really is. There's some, I've always said, aside from the quarterback position, I'd argue that the D-line is as hard as any position to adapt to in the NFL because you're dealing. It's a completely different game in there, and so I'm excited for him. He's got a talent and a skill set that's very rare, and as he continues to evolve and develop his skill set along with his body, he's going to be a problem for a long time.
The Commanders lead the league in pass attempts, and obviously Howell's feeling his way. Do you feel like it's critical for your defense to kind of come away some takeaways in this game and give an offense that has your fourth quarterback and other issues going on, some short fields?
Yeah, it's always critical. Yeah, even if we were humming on all cylinders, it doesn't matter. You still want to get the ball and create short fields. And but yeah, give them credit. They're doing a really nice job over there. Sam is getting better every single week. He really is. He's got tremendous arm talent. Their skill guys are pretty damn good, and so they create a lot of issues with the concepts they use, and so it's going to be interesting. It is going to be a tremendous challenge for our defense.
Aaron saying that he wants to play a few more years is probably exciting for everybody in this building. But what do you think, or maybe Garrett Wilson's reaction to that is? Because he'll be just entering his prime. How important is Aaron's coming back, knowing you'll have that kind of quarterback for Garrett as he enters his prime?
Yeah, for everyone really. Aaron obviously is a special talent. It's the reason why he's already got a gold jacket and a bus waiting for him in Canton, right? But
It just seemed like they had such a connection.
they
those
did,
two.
and a lot of work went into OTAs and training camp. Aaron put a lot of work in, and everyone put in a lot of work in to try to develop that offense over the offseason and during training camp, and they built a really cool connection, and one that we got a glimpse of during the preseason game against the Giants where we scored. But getting him back is going to be awesome. We've got to do a better job of finding a way to make sure that he stays upright, and if we can do that, we're going to be a special group.
How do you assess Whitehead's season?
I feel like he's had a good season. There's a couple of things where he'll even admit that he needs to get better at, but his coverage stuff has been fantastic. It's all been pretty much the same, if not better than it was a year ago. He's been opportunistic and getting the ball, and we got 3 games left, so I think he'll continue to make plays. But he's gotten better. He's he had a little tackling issue in the middle of the season, but I think he worked hard over the past couple of weeks to fix it, and he's done a really nice job the last couple of weeks with tackling. And he's a deliberate young man. He works his tail off. Everything's very important to him, so he continues to get better. But overall, I think he's had a nice season.
Robert, is Will McDonald someone that you guys could play substantially more these final 3? Sorry if I was.
Yeah, you missed.
You
You
missed
missed.
a portion of the
Well,
way.
yeah.
I mean,
That's okay. I'm glad you guys said it.
Yeah. As soon as you started smiling.
what kind of challenges McLaurin present?
Tough, reliable, elite route runner, really good in contested catch situations. But he's a really, really good receiver.
How do you? I'm sure the training room right now is probably pretty crowded, right? This time of year. How do you get those guys to kind of fight through what they're battling, and no carry the playoffs, but continue to fight through it?
No, they are. You look at JFM, who has every opportunity to tap the helmet, ring the bell, if you will. There's a bunch of guys on this injury report, Izzy, Jordan, Mackay, who's been fighting week in and week out to get out on the football field. Brownlee's coming back from a high ankle, and or an ankle, not high ankle, but an ankle sprain that he's ready to roll. Jalen Holmes is Solomon's. They're all Tittman. There's a lot of opportunities for a lot of guys to quit, and hats off to them in the locker room. These guys are, you always look at in this time of year as a coach, you look at the depth chart and like, okay, who might be the guy that rings the bell? And I can't pick one. I can't find one. And it's a credit to the locker room, credit to Joe and his staff and the group of guys that we brought in, and they'll continue to fight and find ways to get better over the next 3 weeks.
Couple more.
Is Carter back this week?
Carter Warren will he will play.
Is he your right tackle?
Yeah.
You guys haven't allowed a 300-yard passer in, I think, 32 games. Is that something you even talk about, think about, focus on?
Only in private. Only in private. No, I think it's pretty cool. Actually, I think the Saints, had the longest active streak, and I know Stafford went over 300 yesterday. But it's a cool thing, But you still got to stack them up, find ways to just keep it rolling. It would have been. We've got a special group on defense. Albrecht's doing a phenomenal job, and Marquand and Tony Oden and Ricky Manning, they do a great job with the back end, and all of them. Aaron Wycon does a great job with the front, and Rudy does a great job with the linebackers. So it's a special group of coaches, special group of players, and they take a lot of pride in the work that they put out day in and day out.
Robert, another one about Will. Yeah. Actually, is Carter Warren your right tackle? No, when you hired your staff at first, you received some criticism because of how young they were. And I remember you mentioned San Fran and the number of head coaches that kind of started to come out of there, whether it's you, D'Amico. Jeff's starting to get some of that attention. When you hired him, was he somebody that you looked at and thought, man, this guy could be a head coach, this is an opportunity to maybe take that next step? And is that something you'd like to see him get this?
I would love to see him get one. We've, whether it's right or wrong, when you hire a staff, it wasn't necessarily about hiring friends. It was about hiring people you felt can go evolve and become head coaches. And so I think everyone on our staff can be a head coach. or at least a coordinator. Even at the QC levels, it wasn't about hiring computer guys or guys to fill a certain role. It was the idea that they can evolve, get better, become position coaches, become coordinators, and possibly more. But so with Albrecht, he was hired with the full thought that he could definitely be a head coach if given the opportunity to run with it. And he's hit a home run, in my opinion.
Last one. Sure.
Got a team from Long Island.
Yeah, so we got Massapequa High School. The Chiefs have won their 4th Long Island championship. It's the 2nd title that they've earned in the last 3 years. They outscored their opponents by an average of 32 points in the playoffs, which is unbelievable. But congratulations to them on a great season.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, guys.